right, guys. It's our first official deadline of the semester. So as a reminder, tonight at 11:59 p.m. is when certain items will close or be marked late if they're not done. So things that'll close, the knowledge check. So make sure you got at least one attempt down on those knowledge checks. Try your best. Remember, for knowledge checks, you can take 2 attempts. So feel free, read those help things. If they're not helpful, let me know. I actually am going to post a quick help on knowledge check 2. I had a couple people reach out about how they didn't understand number 3 and number 4 and that my hint wasn't enough. So I gave a little more instruction in the video below. Another one that I've received a lot of questions about was the sampling IRL discussion board. I hate this discussion board. I've rewritten the prompt like 7 times, but I think it's super valuable. Maybe not as valuable for us because we're going to be doing our project online. But in a traditional setting, we would be collecting data. And so doing that particular discussion board gives us an idea of how we would collect data. And I still want us to have that conversation, even if we're not going to be able to collect data the way we normally would. I will try to make a video after this that sort of explains what exactly I'm looking for to make that a little more clear. But do know all the discussion boards, once you submit them, I will give you feedback based on the rubric, and then you were able to resubmit them. So with no penalty at all. So as long as you get something in, even if you don't feel 100% on it before tonight, you're going to be able to redo it for full points later. And the same thing with all of the other online activities. This week's online activities are mostly graded by completion. So there's not a whole lot of stress in terms of making sure they're perfect. But I know people also want some feedback on what the correct way to read those graphs were. So my plan next week, or tomorrow, I will add video walkthroughs for both knowledge check 1 and 2 now that they'll be closed, as well as that reading graphs activity and some of the other components of this last week. So you'll be able to go back into week 1 and see all of these things that weren't there. So just as a reminder, everything in module 1 is due tonight. If you don't get it done, the only thing that will close and not let you back in is the knowledge check. So if you have to prioritize, if you're behind, knowledge checks, everything else will have a penalty, but at least you can submit late. The other thing I wanted to just do really quick in this hey, we made it through the first week video, is just introduce you to these different parts. I know I did this in the video walkthrough of the class, but I just wanted to point it out again. I've had a lot of students reach out and say, I want more sample problems. I want to know the right textbook to use. My suggestion would be to use the sample problems that I've posted here. There is a lot of overlap with the practice problems in those practice quizzes, but these I will post a key to, so that way you can work through some sample problems very similar to what I would put on a test and practice. And I have one of these for each part of the lecture notes. There was some confusion about the weekly videos and their parts versus these parts, so I renamed all the weekly videos, as you could tell, to 1.1, 1.2 instead of like week 1, part 1, because the parts are referencing those lecture notes. So that's pretty much it. The only things I wanted to touch base on, stuff that was due. As a reminder, if you have questions, email me. It's really good to hear from you guys and know what needs a little bit more love, like explaining that knowledge check 2 or what the heck sampling IRL needs to include. But if you want more handholding, if you want to meet with me and chat about something, click on that sign up for office hours. I know a number of you have, and I've already met a bunch of you on Zoom. But you can sign up for office hours and you can see I've got a bunch of different times available. Kind of changes depending on the day, but most days you'll see almost all day open. Some days I made sure to have spots at night in case people are working and have to meet later. But if none of those times work for you, if you want to meet at a different time, reach out. I can be available. You guys are pretty much the only thing I've got going on besides this AP reading, but we're reading super fast. So I should be done grading AP exams real soon. So anyways, that's it. Congrats on finishing week 1. If for some reason you've decided this is not the format for you, no hard feelings. I just want to be quick warning here. Our drop deadline is tomorrow. So Monday is the drop deadline for these 8-week summer classes that started last Monday. So if you're not going to stick around, drop. I will send out a separate announcement, especially to anybody who didn't get some stuff turned in last week, sort of reminding them that maybe they want to take advantage of that.